Today I show you two of the best budget dummy runners you can buy if you're on a budget. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so as part of the Center Forward series, it's important that we include dummy runners as a playing style. Now, if you don't know what a dummy runner is basically a post-up player that instead of using strength, uses some sort of technical ability. Now, this doesn't mean that dummy runners don't have strength. It's really focused on their ability to do something very different than a traditional post-up player. Now, there aren't a ton of dummy runners in the game, and that's really because they have a very unique skill set. When you think of a post-up player, you think of a big man who can receive the ball, play with his back against the goal, and is really there to play 1-2s and to kind of hold up the ball as you're trying to build into really good attacking situations or trying to take a look at the field and plan your next move. With dummy runners, it's a little different. So they're still going to get in the same positions as post players, but the core difference is instead of just being very static, you're going to see a lot more movement, and more importantly, they're usually much more athletic than a post player. And so you're going to see a combination of technical ability and usually some sort of pace, speed, that's very different from a post player who's usually going to be very stationary and very strong. So you really need to think about which type of player best fits your style and your system, because if you're looking for someone to be more static and you want your team to move around them, then you probably should go with a post player. Whereas if you're looking for someone to take the ball, move with it, be able to do some of the post activities, but then be more athletic, run into space, things like that, then a dummy runner's probably going to suit your play style better. So I found two really good dummy runners after taking a look across a bunch of different guys. And I really feel these two dummy runners are going to best represent value at the lower levels. So let's get right into it. So first up, we have Pablo. Pablo, I thought, represented pretty good value. He's worth 3.8 million. His salary is a little high at 1.4, or really 1.5. He's a right-footed player, 77 overall rated, and he has pretty good stats. When you look at player balance, you've got a guy that has 80 offensive awareness, which is really good. And he's got 77 ball control and 75 dribbling. This makes for a really good package for a player that can control the ball, is good enough with being able to move, and has a very good vision on the field defensively. Now, he also has finishing at 80. This is a really big deal for a lower level player. It means that when he gets an opportunity, he's most likely going to put it away. That combined with the fact that he has a weak foot of 3 means that he can most likely finish an opportunity on either foot. This is pretty significant, especially considering we're talking about a budget player. Now, when you look at his speed and acceleration, he has 76 speed and 77 acceleration. He's not a speedster. You're not going to be able to break away and beat people on pace, but this is enough to make sure that he can burst through when he's off the ball and get into some good attacking situations. Now, his kicking power 78, which is actually really solid. It means that realistically, he can probably hit it from outside of the box. And with 76 physical contact, it means he can take a little bit of a bump and still hold on to the ball. Now, he is 28 years old, so you might want to loan versus buy, but he's a big player. He's got a little bit of stock to him, and he's got a pretty sweet right foot. So I think the thing that I noticed the most about Pablo is that he was really good at link up and build up play. His ability to control the ball, stay very strong, get himself into really good attacking situations, and then be very patient. All of these things made him a really valuable player, more as a number 2 striker versus the primary striking threat. Now, with all dummy runners, this is going to be the core challenge. Your dummy runner is pretty much always going to be your secondary striker. And what this means is their job is really to set up your primary striker and to pull coverage away so that your primary striker can get into really good striking situations. I felt like Pablo did a really good job of this. He's the Pippin to your Michael Jordan. He's the guy that's going to do a lot of thankless work, who's going to fight back and forth with the defense, help you play those 1-2s, and then ultimately get into situations where he can be enough of a threat that he can pull defenders away and let your primary striker get free. Now, he was fast enough, he was mobile enough, he had enough control over the ball. You'll see a couple examples of that in the play, but primarily what you'll see the most is that he gets in really good positions to receive the ball, maybe take a couple steps, and then lay the ball off. This is a very classic dummy striker composition. I would highly recommend him if that's exactly what you're looking for. Someone to be either a third striker or someone to really be your second striker who's not going to score a lot of goals, but create a lot of opportunities and ultimately get a lot of assists. So that takes us to Larsen. Now, Larsen has a higher market value, but a pretty significantly lower salary. He's also 23 years years old. This is a player that you should legitimately think about purchasing if you're looking for a dummy runner on a budget. The other bonus here is that he's left-footed. Now, he does have a weak foot rating of 3, which gives you some additional options with where you plan and how you plan. He's also got a very slight build, and he's not extremely tall. He's probably medium height, 175 centimeters. This makes him a little more agile. He'll feel a little more like a finesse player than your traditional post-up man. He's got 77 offensive awareness, 74 ball control, and 76 dribbling. This gives you pretty good stats when he's on the ball, and the 77 awareness gives him a really good ability to move around the field when receiving the ball. Now, I will say his offensive awareness stat is very understated, as when he's on the field, you'll feel like his offensive awareness is in the 80s. He also has really good touch on the field, and so you feel like that ball control and dribbling are actually better than his stats suggest. He has a finishing of 75, which is decent, but he's not going to finish everything. But his speed and acceleration at 81 and 84 respectively do give him the ability to add some pace to his game. He has 70 physical contact and 76 bounce, and those two stats combined give him a really good ability to shake off tackles and to stay in plays when he'd either get pushed off or fall to the ground. That also combined with his 80 stamina means you've got a player that will stay relevant throughout the entirety of the game. So where you'll see Larsen really excel on the field is his ability to get into the right position and then really drive home the attack. And that could be just using his straight pace and maintaining that step ahead and using that balance and that physical ability to hold off his man long enough for him to get a shot off, or getting a little tricky in the box, using his ability to dribble, to move his body, and wrong foot a defender, and then using that first step to get a shot off or get a pass off. I really thought out of the two, Larsen was definitely the alpha striker. He's the guy that's going to score goals for you. He's going to stay really aggressive. He's going to get in really aggressive attacking situations. And I feel like out of the two, he's probably the better buy. Plus, he's young, and he gives you that ability to grow and become even more dangerous than he is. Now, he's only 75 rated, but he'll get a little better. And I think what you really see is he's just a really good addition if you have another striker that can hold their own. This is a guy that as a dummy striker can pull double duty. He can be a dummy striker and pull focus from your primary striker, but then he can also interchange and become a primary striker himself. This makes him really dangerous and really versatile, and that's why he would be my top recommendation. I would recommend you try both of these guys if you can. Let me know your thoughts, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm new to YouTube, so if you like the content, please give me a like. If you like the topics, please subscribe, and always leave a comment if you can. Thanks, guys.